Right now, we're following up on a train derailment in Dodge County from last week. We have reaction from a local excavation company.
And while I have a gorgeous forecast in place with regards to temperatures and humidity levels, we're going to track some fog overnight. We'll use future track visibility to let you know how foggy conditions will get.
Plus, details on a proposed bill that would allow Wisconsinites who received gender-affirming care while they were minors the option of suing doctors later on. And we welcome you now to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson. Eric Franke is off. The tracks from the train derailment in Dodge County are now back open. Last Friday, a Canadian Pacific train derailed between the village of Reesville and the town of Lowell for the second time in 2 years. Our Ellie LaLiberte shows us what it took to get the area cleaned up.
All hands on deck. That's how one Dodge County man described the effort it took to clean up that train derailment. He was called into the job site at about 10 p.m. on Friday, didn't leave until 4:30 in the morning.
It was definitely something new for me. I've never been a part of anything like that before.
Mitchell Lauersdorf is a plumber by day, but last Friday his father's excavation company got a call to help clean up this.
Pretty much, we just got called to kind of assist with whatever the railroad needed.
Roughly 30 of the 95 Canadian Pacific train cars derailed, causing some of the crude oil it was carrying to spill.
There was a lot of different people there, a lot of different companies. Just everybody working around the clock, everybody firing on all cylinders to try to get that mess cleaned up as soon as possible.
According to a CPKC spokesperson, there are still environmental and hazardous material teams on site, but the involved areas have been secured. Writing in a statement to News 3 Now, quote, "Cleanup work to fully remediate the site and remove the rail cars will be ongoing in the coming days." But Lauersdorf says people in the community just can't believe this happened again.
We just had that train derailment 2 years ago on the exact same line of track there, so there's a lot of questions. How did it happen? What happened?
The official cause of the derailment is still under investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board. Reporting in Dodge County, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Ellie, and luckily no one was injured in that incident. To a developing story now where a Portage police officer is on leave and in jail. According to a criminal complaint, Officer Cameron Coronado allegedly forcefully shoved a pacifier down the throat of his 6-month-old son, leaving that child bleeding from the mouth. Coronado's wife brought the baby to a hospital where a CT scan revealed bleeding in the child's brain. She also told police that back in July, he threatened to kill the kids when the couple's aforementioned baby and 4-year-old were crying. That night, the complaint alleges that he left holes in the drywall outside their bedroom, punching and kicking the wall when she hid inside the room with children. Now, Coronado faces charges of physical abuse of a child and disorderly conduct by domestic abuse. This officer is on paid administrative leave from the Portage Police Department and is currently booked in the Sauk County Jail. The Portage Police Chief tells News 3 that the officer's actions are not representative of the men and women serving in that department. A court date for Coronado's case has not yet been set. Well, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services is warning of a possible measles exposure in Beloit. Today, they pinpointed 2 travel centers as exposure sites. One is the Pilot Travel Center on Milwaukee Road in Beloit. The other is the Flying J Travel Center on 70th Avenue in Roberts, Wisconsin. That's near Minnesota. The exposures are believed to have happened on August 4th. Health Services officials say the exposure is from an out-of-state traveler who visited Wisconsin. As of today, there were 9 confirmed cases of measles in Wisconsin. Well, turning to weather now, where it's nothing but sunny skies for the week and getting better. We have Alex all the details.
All the smiles here, going from all the severe weather, all the flash flooding rains that we've had over the past couple of weeks and months in hot and humid conditions, or I should say very warm and humid conditions. Look at our temperatures, at or below normal for the next 10 days. These are highs, especially as we go towards Sunday and Monday, barely getting out of the 60s. That's what you'd expect at the end of September, so get ready for almost a taste of fall-like weather. Let's plan our evening now. Typical summer-like weather right now. Temperatures in the upper 70s, dipping down into the lower 70s when you join us for that 10 o'clock newscast, and those lows will get down into the 60s tonight. We got 78 in Madison right now. We got 81 in Middleton, 82 in Cross Plains, and 79 to the south on Highway 12 and 14 down towards Oregon. As we zoom on out, 80s to the north and west, a little bit cooler to the east. That's because we hung on to a little bit more in the way of cloud activity for Madison areas to the east during the morning and early afternoon hours. As I mentioned yesterday, could hold those temperatures down just a tad. Future track visibility by the time we get to the early morning hours of Thursday, seeing visibilities start to come down, perhaps as low as 1/4 of a mile, or rather 1/2 of a mile in the Dells. In just a little bit, when you join me next, we're going to take future track visibility through the morning, and we'll let you know how dense that fog could be in your neighborhood.
All right, thank you, Alex. And back to those stormy conditions we had earlier in the week. 3 Madison residents are without a home after this tree fell on their house yesterday afternoon. Madison fire crews responded to the 4900 block of Flagg Avenue on the southwest side just before 1 o'clock after all of those storms came through the area. Luckily, everyone living in the home is safe and uninjured. The tree is no longer on the roof, but the residents had to be relocated. Well, Meritor is expanding its addiction treatment services. The hospital's evening outpatient addiction services will return next Monday, August 25th. Licensed therapists and substance abuse counselors will be available during the evening sessions. And Meritor says the program includes group therapy, education, and peer support. Again, this operates 4 days a week for 3 hours a day. It's Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. Again, this begins August 25th, and if you're interested in learning more, you can call the number right there on your screen. It's 608-417-8144. Well, WISC-TV and Television Wisconsin will be activating 2 new transmitters. This upgrade will provide antenna viewers with a clearer picture of our programming. However, you will need to rescan your TV after the launch to receive the improved signal. To do this, it's easy. Just open your TV's menu, select Settings, and then choose Channel Scan or Auto Tune. We have all of these instructions as well on channel3000.com/rescan. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, the Trump administration's tariffs start to take effect on groceries and household products. Plus, there's a new way to get the flu vaccine this season, how it works and how we find it when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
In the state capitol, a new bill would create an option for Wisconsinites to sue their doctors. That's if they received gender-affirming care as a minor and want to sue that doctor as an adult. Political reporter Will Keneally sat down with the bill's author and has more from the Capitol.
This bill is just about ensuring fairness.
That's how State Rep Amanda Nedweski is framing her new bill. That fairness, she says, is to allow Wisconsinites who received gender-affirming care as minors to sue the doctors that provided that care.
The bill establishes a civil cause of action for minors when they turn 18 and beyond up until age 33. So it also expands the statute of limitations, basically says they have the right.
It looks like we're having some technical difficulties. We'll move on to a different story now. The latest consumer price index shows that grocery prices in July rose 2.2%
increases in the last year.
Compared to last year. Now, the rising cost of food is driving an affordability crisis, though. Everyday staples saw significant cost increases in the last year. Coffee is up nearly 15%, while ground beef is up just over 11%. Egg prices, which are falling, are still up more than 16%. Now, experts say tariffs on aluminum and steel implemented in March are impacting the price of groceries now with canned foods and beverages. One bright spot about U.S. food supply, only about 10% of grocery store food is imported and now subject to further tariffs.
Consumers in the United States have a choice. They don't necessarily need to buy that sauce from Italy. They can buy the sauce that's made in the good old United States.
Shoppers can also opt for whole items. Stores charge to cube that watermelon and shred cheese, of course. Fixing and remodeling things around your house could get a little more expensive. Home Depot is saying that prices on some of its items are likely to go up. The nation's largest home improvement retailer says the Trump administration's tariffs are having a ripple effect on their products. Home Depot says just under 50% of its inventory is imported from suppliers outside of the U.S. Well, for the first time this flu season, many Americans will have the option to give themselves the flu vaccine. It's called Flu Mist, and it is the only nasal spray flu vaccine in the U.S. that's FDA approved for use at home. Flu Mist Home is recommended to be self-administered by adults under 50 and can be given to children as young as 2.
It's delivered with cold packs in a cold chain shipping model, and actually one of the great steps is when you receive your dose, there's a temperature tag that gets scanned to ensure that it stayed in the right temperature throughout the entire shipping process and that it's safe and ready to use.
The vaccine nasal spray is now available for home delivery in Wisconsin and 33 other states. It can be ordered online after a brief medical screening questionnaire. And that'll be reviewed by a licensed healthcare provider before the vaccine is prescribed. It is covered as well by most commercial insurance with a fee of $8.99. Also for shipping and handling. Still ahead, the Goodman Pool in Madison announces the end already to the summer season. Plus, the Stuff the Bus campaign may be over, but there's still plenty of work to do. How many supplies are being moved to students in need? And we could be seeing the nicest stretch of weather all summer, maybe all year. This week, Alex returns with the full forecast after the break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. The Stuff the Bus campaign for local students was a huge success, and the work continues. By the end of the campaign, we exceeded the goal of helping 500 students, and we now have enough school supplies for 661. Today, a group of volunteers, including members of the News 3 team, myself included, spent some time boxing and labeling tons of donated supplies. The next step, each Boys and Girls Club location will take their share of items, along with backpacks, to their locations. Amid rising costs, Democratic State Senator Brad Pfaff wants to make back-to-school shopping more affordable for families. So he's proposing a 3-day back-to-school sales tax holiday. During that time, Wisconsinites wouldn't pay some taxes on clothing and school supplies. There are similar programs in other states, and earlier this month, Iowa held its 2-day tax break, allowing shoppers to get clothes and shoes under $100 without any state or local taxes. So if passed, this bill could take effect as early as next school year. And speaking of school year, the Goodman Pool in Madison is closing for the season this coming Sunday. If Sunday's temperatures are below 69 degrees, or there's low attendance, the pool may actually close. This is also based on staffing ability. All splash parks are set to remain open, though, daily through September 1st. And speaking of all of this weather changing, and a stretch of nice weather unbelievably has started. Alex, what are our future temps looking like?
Future temps, they must have been watching my forecast from earlier. We do have high temperatures of 69 degrees in the forecast. More on that in the 10-day. Yes, a beautiful stretch of weather here is part of the 3 things you need to know. It's on the way to southern Wisconsin, less this patchy fog. We got to get through that overnight. We may see that patchy fog also once again Wednesday night. We still have a lot of moisture near the ground, and that's part of our recipe for fog. Clear skies and light winds add the recipe for that fog to mix in. And speaking of fog mixing into the forecast, future track visibility showing by midnight some fog developing out towards the Lake Michigan area as we approach 4:30 in the morning. And this is constantly updating here. Camp Douglas, you may be down to half a mile here, 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles in Janesville. As we move a little bit further into the night, or I should say into the morning hours, 5:30 down to 1/2 mile, stretching from Camp Douglas down to the Dells, down to Madison, Janesville, you'll be at about 1 mile. It's as we head towards 7:30 that the fog becomes the most widespread here, especially in the Wisconsin River Valley. 3/4 mile visibility projection and 1/2 mile in Viroqua, in Boscoville, and in Lone Rock, with some improvement towards Lake Michigan, but that's because the sun is getting stronger and higher in the sky, and that will burn everything off by the time we get to approximately noon. So be ready tomorrow morning, and then perhaps again as we go into Wednesday night into Thursday morning for some of that patchy, dense fog. And that can catch up on you real quick. You could be up on a ridge and then go down into the valley and have that dense fog out there. So just take it easy as you go into the morning hours with that dense fog possibility. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 60s, so get ready here that we could have a night where you might be actually able to open up the windows and have the air conditioning on because it'll feel better. We'll have less humidity, and we're not dealing with air quality conditions this go around, at least not at this point in time. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s east and northeast of Madison on Wednesday, right around 80 to the south and to the west of Madison. So a gorgeous day, and here we go. We do have 69 degrees in the high temperature department for Sunday, which lines up with our pool story or a little bit earlier, perhaps 68 on Monday. And look at the lows in the upper 40s. That's a bit on the chilly side, in my opinion, even to go to the pool and want to splash around in the pool with temperatures on that chilly side there. The only chance for rainfall over the course of the next 10 days, it sticks out there. Take a look there. Friday night at about a 30% coverage, we could be looking at a couple of thunderstorms before the cooler air moves into southern Wisconsin. And the muggy meter, follow the yellow line here all the way down into the comfy range once we get to especially Saturday and Sunday and beyond. And the temperatures, look at this, highs right around 80. Those 60s really stick out here. We're all below normal here for the next 10 days. And if you want to go even further into September, look at this, that cool area just south of Madison, and we're in those deep, dark blues. That means there is a high, very high probability of us being below normal going all the way out into September and also staying drier than normal going out into September. And lastly here, as I head my way over here to the desk, here's a viewer photo here. What a mix here. This was just sent to us. Lori, thank you from Janesville. I hope you're tuning into our newscast here, because if you're looking closely enough here, you've got the rainbow in there. I think there might even be a double rainbow. Nonetheless, there's a rainbow. And if you take note, there's a lightning bolt right in the middle of that photo here as part of a stormy pattern here. I guess we can say at the end of a storm, there's a golden sky. In this case here, that golden sky is causing that rainbow with that lightning moving away from the Janesville area. And you can send us your weather photos as well. Just scan that QR code anytime I show the weather photos, and then we'll show them on air.
It's a beautiful combination of what we've seen and what we're getting.
That photo, I think, sums up the storms now are finally progressing off towards the east, ushering in 10 days of beautiful weather that can't be beat.
Oh, love it, Alex. Now, you were talking about like when you might want to open the windows or not. It's still a little bit humid.
Yeah, it is still touch humid out there, and it's not very windy out there either, so we don't get that ventilation. My forecast, that's my job, as we head towards Saturday, that might be the time we can really open up the windows, let the air breathe in some of that fresh, low humidity air as we go towards Sunday and going into Monday. Lows in the 40s. You might actually want to shut the windows for a change.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Alex. And we're talking about the Brewers, second time here.
Absolutely, which is always a good thing. No rain is a good thing for baseball. They had that issue yesterday in Chicago, and still to come in sports, the Brewers try to be the comeback kids against the Cubs. Plus, how to watch their second game of the day and their doubleheader next on News 3 Now. The only thing better than one baseball game is two. The Brewers played the first of a twin bill against the Cubs today. The second place Cubs at that, I should mention. Milwaukee with a chance to extend their NL Central lead to 10 games. But in the fourth, they were trailing 5-0, and Christian Yelich put a dent in that lead with a moonshot to right field. His team leading 26th Tater of the season, and the crew kept trying to come back. They had a chance with two on board in the ninth, but William Contreras cannot play hero. The Cubs take the matinee 6-4. Game 2 of their doubleheader is at 7:05 tonight, and you don't have to go far to find it. It is airing on our sister station, Television Wisconsin, or Channel 3.2. Let's hoop. The non-conference slate for Robin Pingeton's first season at the helm for Wisconsin women's basketball came out today, and it is a statewide tour. The Badgers will go to Marquette before hosting Milwaukee and Green Bay. It's all a part of Pingeton's plan to try to get the state's best hoopers to come be Badgers. And we are Billy Edwards days away from Wisconsin football, or 9 days away. The Badgers are expecting a big year out of their new quarterback, who was placed on the watch list for the Golden Arm Award today, which is given to the best gunslinger in college football. Well, 6 days after receiving surgery on his thumb, Jordan Love jumped back into action at practice yesterday. The quarterback will not play in this Saturday's preseason finale, but will get limited reps in the team's joint practice with the Seahawks later this week. He's expected to be back for the regular season, but within his limits, needs every rep that he can get to game speed. And as for how he's fared so far, Matt LaFleur says it's so far so good.
I thought it was good just to get him back in the mix, into the rhythm of playing quarterback. We did some different things with him that we haven't done in the past. I mean, we pretty much were primarily doing everything under center. So, yeah, I thought it was good work.
And week 1 of high school football, believe it or not, and this is hard to believe, begins on Thursday and continues with many more games on Friday. As always, News 3 Now is the place that you'll want to be to see the highlights from the biggest games from all around our area. It's really hard to believe that.
It is. It's so hard to believe and so fun those football games do for high school. Well, coming up tonight at 10, we have more details on what led to charges facing a Portage police officer and why his conduct wasn't reported to law enforcement sooner. Maddie Heims joins us with those details tonight at 10. A quick look at our forecast.
Quick look, all you got to do, 70s by day, 40s to 50s by night. Gorgeous conditions. At 10, though, I'll give you a glimpse. Where are we at with precipitation for the year?
Love it. Thanks, Alex. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Entertainment Tonight is up next, and we'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.